because I gave part of myself to this individual. How many here have been bullied? Bullied when you're little? Oh, yeah, that's right. Right? Conflict. Imagine. And when we take it, there's going to be a point where if you pop a bully in the nose, what happens? Anybody ever done that? You pop a bully in the nose, they stop. It's amazing. They are the most fragile people you'll ever meet. Right? But because of the conflict, the belief we have is, oh my God, they're more powerful than us. And they're really not, but that's what we believe. We create this whole thing. We're going to stay in this position and be picked on until we have enough or something happens where we make a drastic move and that individual stops because we do something and they're scared. Okay? Are you ready? Okay. Let's see what we can do here. We have, okay, we're on time here. Okay. Let's see here. Getting our, here's one, an employee. Difficult employee, getting her on board for betterment of the faculty team versus only her needs always being met. We got a person running solo here. So we got a person here, everything's about her. She does not want to be part of the team. It's about me, okay? Here we go. Anybody? I'm running it through my head. Okay. So here's the question. Here's the questions you ask your team. Has anybody ever heard of open-ended questions? All right? In therapy school, that's what they teach us. Teach us therapy. Open. So, why do you have the need to be isolated? Or what need is being met by you isolating yourself over here from the team? Watch this. What need is being met by you isolating yourself from the team? Stop right there. Listen to that question. What need is being met? Now you put them on the spot because they need to answer the question. It's not a yes or no question. They need to answer, not the responsibilities on them. And they're going to go like this. I don't know, a need, what's a need? We talked about that before. A need. Oh, a need, Mr. Oden says, is a social thing you're trying to get in the moment. So in other words, what are you getting out of isolating yourself from the group? Once they hear that, they got to come up with an answer. What you do not do is interfere with their delay of response. Just wait. They're uncomfortable, all right? That's one question. Another question is, so they have their own needs always being met, okay? What happens if you would join the team? What would happen if you became part of the team? Yeah, if you became part of our team, you ingrained, you became one of us with a group effort, what would happen to you? Here, watch it. Okay, now it's coming to me. Here's my guess from all the childhood development stuff and all that. She needs to be seen because guess where she wasn't seen? Where wasn't she seen? At home. Everything starts at home. Trust me, you're paying for her home, for her upbringing. I need to be seen. Look at me. Because guess what? I was never seen as a kid. So if you're like my family at work, because you see most of these people more than your family because you're at work, if you see them over here, a group of people, and you got to come in with the other group of people, guess what happens? I'm not seen. So I'm going to stay over here and get my needs met. Me. Solitude. Look at me. Here I am. Because guess what? Now you can see me. And that's just a little piece right there. Okay? That's how that works. Everything starts at home. Quick one. Whatever we don't get here, we compensate over here. I've seen this 1,000 times. I am not the brightest guy on the planet. Because I am not. I read a lot. I compensate for the people who are gifted who can study the day before a test and get an A. I couldn't do that. I tried that. I got an F+. It is. I said, well, how can they do that? Anyway, another story. Employee complaint from difficult employee whose needs ongoing disciplinary process, who will now view it as an employee complaint. Difficult employee who needs ongoing disciplinary, who will now view it as, retaliation. Okay, so you're picking on me, I'm bugging you, and I tell somebody about it, now you're retaliating. Whew. Okay, so we got a bully in here. Okay? Somebody needs to be empowered by picking on an employee. They need to be empowered. They're meeting their need for empowerment. Tragically, there we go. We have the tragically. Okay? So, because you stood up for yourself, now he tries to turn it around and say, you're retaliating against me. Okay. So guess what? Now he thinks, so you're retaliating, and now what's he going to do? So the person who told the administrator about this individual needs to say this: I'm protecting myself. He's not meeting my need for respect, consideration, boundaries, anything like that. So I told somebody to protect myself in case something happens. So whatever the person who's starting this mess is cannot manipulate you or anybody else because of what you did to protect yourself as an employee with the company. That makes sense? You guys get that? I'm shaking heads. Okay, we got that? Okay. So remember, okay? So that being said, the bully got found out, and now they're trying to bully your mind to say, oh my God, I'm a bad person for protecting myself. Don't fall for the okey-doke. Okay? One more, and then we're going to go to the brain dominance. Staffing. I don't know what to do with that.
Pick another one.
Okay.
Pick another one.
Huh? No, I'm taking the challenge. Okay, here we go. Staffing. Okay, we have problem staffing. All right, here we go. What do you want in your staff? Who do you want? And you're going to learn this in the next one. Who do you want to be the people who you're going to lead? How do you want them? All right. So this is good. So we want people who are friendly. We want people who are analytical. We want people who see the big picture. We want people who are really organized. We want everybody to come together. And this is my staff, and we run this organization this way. But you got to know who you're picking and why you're picking them. If you pick people like you, then everybody's one-dimensional. So you don't want to pick people like you, whoever you are out there. Okay? Pick people who are different from you because you can get different versions. So that's a great time to talk about this part right here. Here we go. Communication styles right here. This is your brain. You're looking at the back of it. In your brain, there we go. We're handing out sheets. This is that, but I talked about how you think and learn it in a particular situation. The A grid of your left brain up here is your rational self. These are the people who analyze everything, right? They analyze everything before they do anything. There it is. Okay? And we're going to go over the frustrations, and we're going to go over the strengths and weaknesses. Okay? They like facts. How does it work? All right? They build cases. That's typical blue. Okay? They're rational. Then we have the B. All right, that's the green. These are your organizers: safekeeping, sequential order, behavior. When I told you what I was going to do in this presentation, you said, "Oh, I can relate to that. Yeah, he's going in order." Now I get it. Okay, that's how that works. You guys are the organizers. They like everything step by step instruction. Okay, that's the blue. The C grid is the red. Here we go, ladies. Nurses, administrators in the hospital, right? These people who communicate this way, they like to touch. They like to communicate. They like to know you're there. Eye contact. Emotional, that's the red, okay? And then your yellow, which is your visualizer, which is they take initiative, they rely on intuition, they have the big picture. These are the people who go like this. I want to go on a trip without even finding how much it costs. I don't know when I'm going to be back. The green person says, we're going to, hold up, we got to plan it out. I didn't know when I'm going to stay. I didn't know how much it's going to cost. See the difference? Okay, that's how this works. When you talk about communication, all right, we're going to talk about this is what happens when you're in a situation. This part of, everybody has all these. It's just which one shows up in a given situation. It's situational, okay? So here you go. This is you. Take a peek at that. Okay? These are your strengths. Gathering facts, finding flaws in the green. Okay? You talked about staffing. What do you want in your staff? What kind of person will communicate? We have all of these. Guess what? In situation, you will go to one or the other. Because I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to number on that piece of paper. Which one of you is your first preference blue? Is your first preference yellow? Is your first preference green? Is your first preference red? And then I go, what's your second preference? Then I'm going to go, what's your third? Okay, so think about that. I already have it in mind because you're nurses and you're in a healing field. You help people a lot. I already have that in mind, so you guys can also understand that. This is what happens. Okay? This is why when someone comes up, I'm working in a doctor's office now. And we have someone at the front, we call her the receptionist. She greets people. She needs to do this in order to make the customer happy. However, what if the customer talks like that or that? When is my appointment? I need to be on time. Da 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 da. Right? If she can identify how the person is communicating with the receptionist, the receptionist is going to go like this. Oh, so I see that we missed your time, the time you're supposed to be here, that we didn't have everything in order that you wanted in order, that you were 10 minutes early or late. So the client goes like this. Yeah, I was. I didn't get what I really needed. And if the person here communicates this kind of language to the client, guess what? The client's going to be pretty happy. You identify with them. That makes sense? You identify with the client. Okay, those are your strengths. So think about, by the way, think about your relationships. Think about your relationships. How are they? Is this some of the things you see in your significant other? And you go, Okay, so I'm going to keep looking, because guess what? We're going to turn the page, and we're going to do the weaknesses. Okay? I've seen this a lot. Oh my God, my husband's like this. I didn't know. So now we're going to go down. Here are your frustrations. This is what drives you up a wall. If somebody communicates in one of those languages, and you hear them, and you're the opposite, and by the way, these are opposite. Okay? If you're not getting this information, this is going to drive you crazy. Illogical comments, lack of facts and data, inappropriate formality. But if you don't give me this, lack of interaction, no eye contact, no enthusiasm, I'm not listening. So when people communicate or do not communicate in this, or they communicate in this way, you're going to turn it off. If they communicate in this way, you're going to go, I get you. Yes. Okay. So here's what I would like you to do. I'd like you to take a couple of minutes and find out what's your number one preference, what's your number two preference, what's your number three. I need to know who's in this room. And as you do that, think about your significant other. Think about your kids. How do they communicate? Think about the people at work. How do they communicate? Okay? Does that make sense what I just said? What's your number one preference out of this? We have four. You belong to all four. We have all four. Just one of them is more preferential than the others in a given situation. Then if that doesn't work, then you go to the second one. And I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig. My first preference is yellow in a situation. Then I go, what's the big idea? Then I go, how's that going to work? Then I go, who am I going to talk to about it? Then I go, oh my God, I got to what? The paperwork? You got to be mind, right? You got to be organized? No. So that's how that works. Take a couple of minutes to pick out your number one preference, your number two preference, your number three, and number four. You can apply this at home, you can apply this at work, you can apply this with your significant other, you can apply with a lot of people. When I hear people communicate and I say, well, that's red language, I know I'm talking about emotional stuff. When I hear people talking about green language, I know these people are very kind of step by step, in order. They like everything in order. I get that. So when you hear that, so when I say talk to me in blue, they're going to know what I'm talking about. Okay? So how many here, the first preference is blue? How many blues do we have? Whoa, blues. 1, 2, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 7 blues. So when we come at you, if I give you facts, right, and give you theories, and I give you how things work and analytical, you guys are going to go like this. That's me. You're going to go, hey, I got you. How many here's first preference are green? Green, a lot of greens, organized. Now, is administrative? What is your position? Manager? Okay, so everything has to be bump first, right? How many red we got in here? Oh, the emotional people. All right, 10. Yes, okay, good. Yeah, these are emotional, right? They like the contact with the client. You got that? Like the contact, right? How many yellow? Big picture. The big picture? Okay, I've got one in the back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, big picture. Okay. Now, second. Now, what's your second? Whose second preference is blue? Okay, so you go from green to blue. So she goes from everything in order. Now, how's it going to work? All right, got that? Who else has a blue? Second blue. What's your first preference? Green. Green too. Okay, same. Anybody else different? Anybody have a first preference than green? Anybody have a red and blue, or you have? Oh, yellow. Okay, yellow goes like this. Wow, what's the big picture? Now let's go see how this works. Right? Big everything. We can throw all the ideas out there. Now we're going to wind it down how it works. That's how this works. Third one. We have the third preference would be. Whose third preference would be red? So you don't get emotional to the third portion. Nice. Because I am not. I'm like, okay, listen here, pal. I need to know this, and this before I open up the heart. Gotcha. Anybody else third? Red? Red too? Okay. You guys get what I'm saying on that? Okay. You know we're hit red? What's your first two colors?
Green, yellow, and
Green. All right. I'm gonna be safekeeping, but I want the big picture. Now I'm gonna get emotional talking to people about this. Let's see where we're gonna go with it. And then what's your last one? Boom. Okay. All right. And take out the fourth one. Who's your fourth preference? What's number 4 is? Oh, yellow. Good, yellow here. So before you do anything, you need everything in order before I have an idea where I'm going to go with it. When I did a production company, right, I gave the test, took the test on about 12 of them. Everybody was right here. Big idea, the story, the movie, the characters, all that stuff. No wonder they didn't get anywhere. I had one person right here, the bookkeeper. Right? So guess what they did? They made the adjustment to find people to do the green and the blue part of this, besides all the fancy ideas. Ideas are nice, but you got to land it and make it work and have the financial and the planning to develop a system to get what you need to get done. Does that make sense? So, somebody please tell me what you learned from this right here. Tell me some nugget you got out of this that you can apply. What did you learn from these quadrants, this different way of thinking, learning styles, that we all have them, okay? Somebody tell me something. Okay? What did you learn from this? Well, yes, you do. You need each one of these on your team. Because that's why I answered that question. I need staff. I need staffing. You need staffing. Yeah, you make sure you get all these on your team. Because if you don't, you're one-dimensional. You don't want all salespeople doing the accounting. Well, they're going to bounce all kinds of checks. Right? Anybody else? Does this help? And also in any leadership ideas that may have popped up? Anything about leadership? Oh, you want to find some red? Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. Nice. You do. That's exactly what you do. That's exactly what you're perfect. What you do is, okay, I'm talking to an accountant. Woo! All right. Now you got to do is talk about, statistics. You got to talk about, what are we going to plan? How long will it take? He gets that. But you got to take a step back and go, okay, who am I dealing with? And trust me, try it on your kids. Try it on your spouse or somebody. I'm telling you, when you hear the way they talk or you say certain things, you're going to go, my God, you're talking in that red language. Now, we're not talking about the 5 languages of love. That's a whole other story. We're talking about how people communicate with each other. All right? Because this is, when we're talking about conflict, we're going back to conflict again. All right? If I don't get you, then I'm going to be frustrated with you. Because you're talking to a language I don't really understand, so I'm going to I'm just going to sit there and space out. Okay? But when you understand it, you go, oh, so you're talking that language. Okay, hold on here, pal. I will adjust my thinking process to get on the same page so we can have dialogue. And so, remember we talked about needs in the beginning? So my need for understanding is met. Your need for understanding is met. Now we can have a conversation. where there's no blame or shame or judgment. Right? They're human beings. They're everywhere. And so we can communicate on a level that is beneficial for everybody. Okay? So, conflict. It doesn't end. Okay. All right? So, conflict. Does anybody have a new perspective on conflict that they didn't know before? Okay? Conflict is inevitable. Now, okay, so the coworker has anxiety?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anxiety is we create in our mind about a situation. Okay, remember, go back to the thing? Somehow, is it around people? Is it, oh, okay, well, here we go. Okay, now it's working. Wow. I wish I had this talent in college. I swear to God. So here we go. There's anxiety at work. Here's my guess. Is she trying to prove herself to the boss? Is she trying to work hard? Is she trying to do the best she can? She's not a troublemaker, just anxiety. Anxiety comes from a belief system. The belief system goes like this. I don't believe I'm good enough because remember back in the day? What did mommy and daddy tell her back in the day? What is she carrying with her? You know, if she did something as a child and was judged or shamed, guess what she's doing? Oh, oof, I'm getting judged. I'm afraid to do anything. My probation plans, why didn't you finish high school? I don't know, yes you do. Why didn't you finish high school? Because I'm lazy. There's no such thing as lazy. Why didn't you finish high school? Then I go down, I keep digging, I go, oh, because it was never talked about, or they told me I wasn't college material, high school material, or I wasn't smart enough. So those are spells and curses. So he takes that with him, right? I'm applying it to your situation, and he carries it to the real world, and he doesn't do anything. Because if he goes to college, if he goes to high school, and he tries to finish and he fails, what's going to happen? What's he going to remember? He's going to remember what he was told. So if I don't move, I can't fail. If I don't move, I can't succeed. Your anxiety person, I'm guessing here, is the fact that she or he is afraid to move, has anxiety for failing or succeeding. So she's like straddling the line. I don't know, oh my God, there's something back here. If she finds out what that is, right? And we uncover the spell of who said what to her. This will do this. I deal with that all the time, and it's about that. It's about curses and spells. Who said what to you? What are you holding on to? Now we're in the future. She's still carrying the past with her, and it has to go like this. These aren't my parents. These are my coworkers. That's what the person has to understand now. And if she makes a mistake, they're not going to make her pay for it, but she's still believing that she's going to pay for it by mom and dad said whoever said what. So that's where the anxiety comes from. Okay? So take a look in that area.
So, you know, your specific topic is correlated with this one. So she makes everyone else feel this.
She makes what?
Everyone else feel anxious.
Oh!
Being around her, she's so anxious. So it creates a conflict, but all of us care to help her.
Okay. Good.
How does the team help her so that it helps all?
All right. I had this last night. I had an emergency call. Same kind of thing. All right. So she's everybody getting sucked in, right? Like the Matrix. Got to cut. Unplug. She needs to be responsible for that. Remember we talked about how we're responsible for other people's feelings. We feel like, oh my God, we got to help her out. Stop. Make her responsible. Let her do her thing. I had a conference with a woman. My 2-year-old has a tantrum. They're screaming. I identify it. Oh, I see you're having a tantrum, young child. So you're upset right now? I did. You don't go in there, oh, it's going to be all right. No, it's not until she handles it. So what you need to do is back up and say, I see you having anxiety. Okay? So what do you think you want to do about that? Put it on her. She's responsible for it. You are not. There's only so much you can do. I just helped the girl go to college the other day, and she brought the thug man with the tattoos on the face back up to the college dorm from LA. And we talked about it for the last 6 weeks. But because she was homeless for 11 years of her life, that's what she knows. So she's a woman child in college trying to get through. So whatever she's doing, oh, watch this. Here we go. She's getting what from you guys? Oh my God, what? Whoa, here we go. Guess what? Guess who's getting played? Okay? If I have anxiety, guess what? Now I play victim, and guess what? Who sees me? I'm getting attention because guess where I didn't get it? I'm guessing. Okay, you know more than me. So everybody does this, cut the strings, and let her have her anxiety, but watch from afar. I always tell parents who have this child who's just draining them financially, bailing them out, and these are the fancy people on the hill. I go, don't go down with the ship. Don't have her bringing the ship down. Everybody does what they do, and just kind of, okay, whatever we can do to help on an arm's length, so I don't go down with the ship, the company doesn't go down with the ship, the group doesn't go down with the ship. No. Yeah, she's getting a lot of attention. So watch what happens when everybody kind of ignores and see what happens. You go like, watch her behavior. What's going on when it sees me? I've seen that. So check that out. That'd be interesting. Yeah. If you want to, call me just outside. I don't want to know. Maybe I'll throw some nuggets your way to, take it to the next level. Okay. I appreciate that. Good question.
Do the next slide so they know how to get a hold of you.
Oh, I'm not good at the slide thing. You talk too much. Okay. So that's what we do. So we make sense of your life so to empower you to move forward without hesitation. You got to make sense of stuff. If you don't make sense of it, then how are you going to change it? And I get that a lot. Why do I do what I do? Why do I have the conflict I have? Well, it comes from somewhere. You just got to find out where it comes from. So if you look at your life and we go, oh, there it is, blank, that anxiety thing. Oh, so this is where it comes from, a young lady or a man in that situation. Okay, you got some mileage out of it at home. But you're not at home anymore. You're with the people who you work with. And the people are suffering. You don't want that. So you got to make it responsible. I always do that. I'm hard on my people. You're responsible for this. And we're going to fix that so you guys don't pay, and then whoever else doesn't pay. Okay? And that's the one question you can ask people who are doing behavior that's sort of that's contradictory or life diminishing. What am I paying for when you do that? What am I paying for? Because you're paying for something. And they're going to go like this. Oh, shit. They do. I've seen it all the time. I had a client. He said, Daddy, when you call me these bad words all the time, are you meeting my need for self? Are you meeting your need for self-worth? Right? He did it his whole life. So go ask your dad that question and see what happens. He fell on the floor and started choking. Because he came to the realization, why am I treating my son this way? Why do I constantly verbally abuse him for all these years? So he asked his father, Father, when you call me those bad names, are you meeting your need for self-worth? And guess who needed to answer the question? Who had to think about, my God, why am I doing that? And he actually shocked him. Guess who stopped talking to his son? The father. Guess who got mad at me? The son. Why? He didn't get any more attention. At least he was getting it. Right? It was tragic attention, but he was getting it. But now he didn't get anything. So I'm the bad guy. It's like interfering with the domestic violence dance. It's like the same thing. Oh my God, I didn't realize that. Okay. But that's how that works. Any questions about conflict? I hope you got something out of this. Sometimes I can. I do. That yellow kicks in, right? Now you know the yellow kicked in. Oh, he's going off. He's out of that thing. He wasn't following his thing. I'm coming back to the green so the green people can handle it. Okay? I hope you got some nuggets that you can take with you home. They can take home with you. You can apply to your work, to your family, to yourself. Maybe it struck a chord in you that you may see the world a little differently. I always try to get people to see the world in a three-dimensional manner. Because what happens is we punch the time card of life and we just do this. We just keep going and go to work and do the thing, and we don't take a step back and go, what's going on inside? And why am I putting up with this stuff with this person? Why am I doing that with that person? Am I benefiting by hanging out with this person? And when we bring all the stuff up and we figure it all out, it can be painful, but at the end, guess what? You will be empowered, but also you might be lonely. Why? Because guess what you're doing? You're getting rid of folk. You're getting like, you don't play the game. I had so many clients like that. I lost all my friends. I know. I never warned you about that. I'm sorry. I did. It's really interesting. I just got rid of people. Boom. because they don't play the game. They're empowered. They're not the whipping post anymore. They stand up for themselves. They say no. Okay? So in conflict, if you have trouble with conflict like I'm working on it still because I'm afraid to hurt other people's feelings. But remember, you take care of yourself. I teach people to be selfish. Be selfish. Say no, I'm not doing it. No, I don't want to go there. And be okay with it. And if they stick around, that means that they're truly your friend. If they don't, that means what were they doing with you in the first place? Right? What are they doing with you? Okay? So anybody want to pick out a couple of things they learned today that they did not know before they came in here? Any things that gave more clarity and understanding? Anything? No.
That's the consciousness of being aware of how different personalities project themselves to you.
Yes.
And taking that moment to be
Right.
like, okay, I need to hear into somebody that is
Right.
and knowing what is their frustrations
Mhm.
and like not paying attention or how you speak or talk and
Mhm.
understand so that you can
Very nice. Here's what it looks like. When you talk to somebody, you do this. Go behind the curtain. And go, oh my God, look at that life. Woo! No wonder I'm paying for some stuff. No wonder he said all that. Hey, how you doing? I get you. I do a 2-hour thing on the Wizard of Oz. Right? I love it. 2-hour presentation on Wizard of Oz about Dorothy and all the things that go with that. And you'd be surprised about the underlying things that people say and do that they don't realize they're doing. But you have to come to the top and say, oh, so this is why they do what they do. Okay? Anybody else? Any nuggets? No. Your internal? Like a personal internal? Okay, you're gonna need to push yourself, right? Oh, I got a couple of those. Here's where that comes from. That tells me if you're trying to push yourself, watch this, what are you getting out of it? What you accomplish it? You get satisfaction like this, or is it empty? Like, okay, I need another one. I need another one. Okay? Depends what it is. If it's internal, that means you might be trying to impress somebody or prove yourself to somebody. Is it? Then you have, if you know that. Okay, so good. If it's to yourself, then what are you getting out of it? Okay, then once you're satisfied, then what? Then hold on, is there another one? And then there's another one. See my point? As opposed to being at peace with no matter what you do, you're still at peace. See? It's because if you gotta keep doing it, okay, climb the hill, do another one. Climb the hill, do another one. Right? Every one is like a right? If it's just and I do this because I love it, and not because I'm trying to compete with myself. That means there's something in here that you may not be. There may be some inadequacies that you don't like because you're trying to overcompensate. Remember, what do I do because I'm not smart? I read a lot. They think I'm smart. I'm not. I'm just average. I got 10 points for signing my name. That kind of thing. So you have to see where that comes from. If somebody may have said something to you back in the day that maybe tweaked your abilities or your inability, whatever the case may be, you may carry that and say, I'll prove it. I'm going to prove it. Like that. Oh, shit. You're smiling a lot. I see something. Okay? And then there's another one. So if it doesn't end, then there's something going on over here. If you're at peace with it, if you're at peace, then guess what? There's nothing there. It's just, I'm good. Whether I make it or not, I'm good. If I get to the highest one, I'm good. If I got $1 million or $10, I'm okay. If I tell you you're the smartest person in the world, if I tell you the dumbest person in the world, it doesn't matter. I'm still okay. But if you keep chasing the thing, then there's something you're trying to fill. And you got to figure out what you're trying to fill. Who said what? And guess what? Unbelieve it. Because whatever way you're giving it is driving you. Okay? All right. Out of that. Timeout. We have a timeout. 2-minute timeout, everybody. We're done. Oh, we're done. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 7.